People imagine yacht ownership as an escape from schedules, from noise, from pressure, from ordinary life. They imagine wide horizons, slow mornings, quiet evenings. They imagine freedom. But what they don't talk about is how many yacht owners are quietly stressed, not visibly stressed, not loudly complaining, not posting about it, quietly. Because real pressure doesn't announce itself, it settles in. Most people assume stress comes from money, fuel, maintenance, crew salaries, docking fees, but that's not where it starts. Stress begins when ownership changes your relationship with time, control, and responsibility. A yacht is not a reward, it is an amplifier. Whatever you bring into ownership, the yacht makes it louder. If your life is already busy, the yacht doesn't slow it down. It adds another layer. If your business is fragile, the yacht doesn't motivate you. It watches you. If you're chasing validation, the yacht doesn't complete you. It demands an audience. This is the part no brochure shows, because brochures sell dreams, not consequences. Most first-time owners buy a yacht for the right emotional reason and the wrong practical timing. They don't buy a vessel, they buy a feeling, a moment where they believe life will finally pause. But ownership doesn't pause life. It reorganizes it around itself. Suddenly, weekends are not free. They are available windows. Trips are no longer spontaneous. They are conditional. Weather, crew, port availability, regulations. Freedom becomes managed. And management is not freedom. People often say, once you own a yacht, everything changes. They're right, but not in the way they think. What changes is not your lifestyle, it's your mental load. You begin to carry invisible decisions. Should we move it now or wait? Is this sound normal? Is that system due? Why is the crew asking again? Is this charter worth it? Is this season efficient enough? None of these questions appear on deck, but they follow you everywhere. This is why some owners look calm and others look constantly distracted. The difference is not wealth, it's dependence. At some point, almost every stressed owner reaches the same conclusion. The yacht should pay for itself. Charter it, host events, turn it into a business. On paper, it sounds logical. In reality, it changes everything. The moment your yacht must generate income, you no longer own a yacht. You own an operation. Operations have rules. They have liabilities. They have expectations. Charter guests don't treat a yacht like an owner does. They treat it like a product. More wear, less patience, more risk. Your crew stops being your crew. They become service staff. Your schedule stops being flexible. It becomes contractual. And contracts don't care about weather, mood, or intuition. What most people don't realize is that chartering doesn't reduce stress. It redistributes it. You trade financial pressure for operational pressure, and operational pressure is constant. The most stressed yacht owners I've met were not the poorest. They were the ones who needed the yacht to justify itself, to earn, to prove, to perform. They couldn't say no, because saying no meant losing money, and losing money meant questioning the decision. The calmest owners are almost invisible. They don't charter often. They don't host loudly. They don't explain. They can leave the yacht unused for months and feel nothing. No guilt, no anxiety, no mental accounting. The yacht exists quietly in the background of their life, as it should. This is where the concept of luxury breaks down. Luxury is often loud. It shows, it announces, It demands recognition. Premium ownership is the opposite. Premium ownership is silence. Luxury wants to be seen using the yacht. Premium wants the option. Luxury wants stories. Premium wants absence of obligation. Luxury asks, "How does this look?" Premium asks, "How does this feel when no one is watching?" A yacht is not proof of success. It is a test of it, a test of timing, of temperament, of restraint. If you need the yacht to complete your lifestyle, you're early. If you need the yacht to fund itself, you're early. If you need the yacht to impress, you're early. Ownership only becomes peaceful when the yacht is optional. This is something people misunderstand deeply. They think ownership creates freedom. In reality, freedom must exist first. The yacht only reflects it. There is a quiet confidence in being able to cancel a trip without explanation, in not checking costs obsessively, in not needing to fill cabins, in knowing the yacht is there but never demanding attention. That is premium ownership. You'll notice something interesting. The owners who truly enjoy their yachts talk about them the least. They don't post constantly. They don't justify. They don't debate. They disappear and reappear calm. Because real wealth is not movement. When people say, "You're missing the memories, the beauty, the joy," they're not wrong, but they're incomplete. Memories are only beautiful when they are chosen freely. Forced enjoyment is not enjoyment. It's performance. Numbers matter, but they should never be the reason. If numbers are the reason you own the yacht, they will eventually be the reason you resent it. A yacht should never need to explain its existence. The owner should never feel obligated to use it. That obligation is where stress is born. So before anyone asks, can it make money? Can it pay for itself? Can we optimize usage? There is only one question that matters. Can I walk away from it and still sleep well? If the answer is yes, you're ready. If the answer is no, wait. Because the most expensive part of yacht ownership is not the yacht. It's owning it at the wrong time. And the owners who understand this are rarely stressed. They are rarely visible. They are rarely loud, but they are free.